Welcome back to Forever Hardcore. This is episode 21. In the last episode, we built this dock here at spawn. In today's episode, we're going to be adding something to it. I want to build a ship, and I want the ship to be moored alongside the pier here. So over here in the water, on this side of the dock, we're going to be building a giant wooden ship, and it's going to look very similar to the Minecraft shipwrecks. And the first thing we need to do to get started on this ship build is to figure out where the keel is going to go. The entire ship gets centered on the keel blocks, which is the bottom part of the ship. But if I don't get the height and spacing correct, the ship won't be exactly where I want it to be in the water. So what I want is the ship to be one block off the pier. So I don't want it to be touching the dock here. So I need to make sure I account for that. So the keel blocks also, they need to be centered on the ship, and I believe the ship is approximately 9 blocks wide, which means we need to go about 5 blocks off the side here. And I also need to make sure that I get the depth correct. I believe it's approximately 4 blocks deep that I need to set the keel so that most of the ship sits up and out of the water. In fact, it would be great if we could get the top deck of the ship to be about 1 block above the pier here. So we'll see if we can accomplish that. Let's start placing some blocks. This could be a little tricky, but what I'm going to do is go down here. We've got these piers that extend all the way down into the water. I'm just going to pick one, and we're going to start counting some blocks underwater in the dark. 1. So that's the spacing with the dock that I want. And then we start here with 1, 2, 3, 4. I can hear the dogs down below. And then the keel block should go here, I think, because this would be the middle of the ship. Hopefully I've done this correctly. Here, let's get it up to the height we need it. So we'll use the ocean floor to build this up. I am going to be using spruce wood for the keel, but most of the ship is going to be made of oak wood. I was just building my ship here, and look who shows up. A trident-wielding drown. No trident, though. We're going to be hunting drown later in the episode. See if we can get some more tridents. Just the one guy, right? Look at all the tridents he left in my ship. Anyways, I'm making some progress here. I'm trying to figure out if I got the dimensions of the ship correctly, so I don't have to make any changes. But I got the keel in. These 2 pillars here are going to be where 2 of the masts are going to go. There's one more mast that goes here. We can actually put that in now if we grab some spruce logs, because I know the spacing is 3 blocks from this one here. So 1, 2, 3. The mast goes here, I believe. And we can bring that up to the water level for now. And then this is going to be the front of the ship. I need to place a temporary block here so I can get up top, because this is actually going to be stairs. And this is the front part of the ship here. So we need to place 3 of these. So 1, 2, and 3. This should be the front of the ship here, I think, unless I've done it incorrectly. Of course, we'll have to remove some of these top stairs, and these logs need to go away as well. I've made some progress on the ship build here. You can see that I have part of the front done. Just on this half, I'll have to mirror everything on the other side. It's quite a tricky build, which is why I've done most of it off camera. And it's not gone exactly to print. There are some things about this ship that aren't the same as the source image I'm using, but there are 2 things that I'm happy about. 1, we got the 1 gap spacing that I wanted between the pier and the side of the ship, so that's perfect. And another thing that I'm excited about is we got the right height out of the water, I think. So it looks like we've got the pier and the side of the ship at the same height, and then this is actually going to be the topside deck here, which sits just above the water line, so that's perfect. Later we'll have to drain the water from inside the ship, we'll probably just fill it in with blocks and then remove those blocks, maybe dirt or something, in order to get rid of all the water. Or we could dry out some sponges that we got from the ocean monument. That would work too. But let me finish up some of the building here. I'm gonna mirror this on the other side, and then we'll start working on the back. I'm also still fishing in between shipbuilding, and the reason is I'm trying to get more nautilus shells so that I can craft a conduit so I can stay underwater longer when I'm building. I've got some wet sponges here that I just picked up from the Mushroom Island base, and I think the quickest way to dry these is to place them in the nether and then pick them up. Oh, I should have brought a hoe. That's fine. I'll just punch them. There's only 6. And then we're going to use these sponges to dry out our ship. Look at that ship in profile alongside the pier. It's looking quite nice. Another good improvement to the spawn area here. So I've got 6 sponges to clear out the water inside the ship here, which should be more than enough. But before I can place these sponges, I actually need to grab another block so that I can plug up some of the holes. I guess the ship is sitting a little bit low in the water because below deck we have these 3 openings on each side. There's 6 total. I'm just going to plug them up with dirt for now so that we can drain the water out. I think these are not supposed to be windows. Maybe they're gun ports or a place for cannons to stick out, but I'm not sure exactly what those are for. If they're for cannons, then obviously they would need to be above the water level to be useful. So like I said, the ship might be sitting a little bit low. Let's remove some water. We'll start up here and place a sponge. Yeah, that gets rid of quite a bit. Hopefully 6 will be enough here. Let's place one here at the mast, and I think we've almost got all the water removed. Maybe one more sponge in the middle will do, and we can dry these again in the nether. When I remove these temporary dirt blocks, water is going to flood in, so I'm going to go ahead and place a slab there in order to keep the water back. Unfortunately, I wonder if a trapdoor would also work, but I don't want water to come through here, and there's not much I can do about it since it's below water level. Now that we've got the basic shape of the ship done and the water's all drained out, we can start working on some of the interior bits. I want to finish up the deck first, and so some of the deck is already constructed. We just need to place the rest of it. Well, I'm using spruce slabs for this, and I've added a couple of stairs that go up to this level because there's going to be an upper deck here as well, which also helps to form the entrance to the captain's quarters, which goes in here somewhere. I also need to bring the mass up a little bit higher, but what I'm doing now is I'm putting in the blocks of the deck that I need to be placed so that, let's see, is it this level? So that I can place in the trap doors. You see, there are some, what are they called? Oak trap doors, and they go, let's see, did I do this correctly? Yes, okay, it looks right. I'm gonna place in, let's see, how many is this? I'm going to place in a bunch of these trapdoors around this opening here, which forms the entrance to the cargo hold. And this is going to be our way up and down between decks as well. So whenever we want to go below deck, we can just use the ladders here, which I'm about to place in now. So that's where the trap doors go, and then if we flip one open and I place, I think it's only 2 ladders I need, and we should be able to get up and down there. Let's see if it works. So we flip this, and we can kind of ride it down. Can we get out? Yes, okay, we can get out the same way. Perfect. So we have a way up and down. I think this part of the deck just gets filled in completely. I'm going to have to craft some more of these spruce slabs, but that's fine. And what else can we add in? Let's get this upper deck part in next. The ship's starting to look pretty good here. I'm adding a few little details now. For example, this trapdoor closes the window to the captain's quarters, and if we go over to the captain's quarters, you can see I've put a door in here. It's a dark oak door, and it fits perfectly in this space. I raised the floor up inside the captain's quarters so we can actually place blocks down on the floor. Something like, a bed if we want to. We can throw it right in there. I've got a torch in here right now, but I'm going to be adding some lanterns later once I do a little bit more interior decorating. Up front here, we have room for a couple of barrels here. I thought that would look pretty nice, and there's a couple spots down below that we could add barrels as well. This might be a good spot here. Try to fill in some of these empty spaces. I got rid of a bunch of blocks that were here and added slabs to the middle of the ship down in the lower levels, so it's looking a little bit more spacious now. I can't move these stairs because they're water bearing. But yeah, we can throw barrels down here as well. We have lots of storage. I'll put a couple right here. Actually, off to the side would probably be better. There's a couple little nooks. I'll throw these on this side, and we'll fill some barrels in on that side later. Same thing down here with the torches. I'll have to figure out some better lighting. But there's definitely a lot that we can do down below deck. And if we come back up top, you can see there's still something missing for this ship to be called complete. I want to raise the masts up. There are 3 total, and I can't remember the name of them all. Sometimes the sail associated with the mast has a different name. For example, the mainsail might be the central mast there. There's other types of sails as well, but I'm not much of a sailor. So I want to raise the mass up, and I want to put a cross beam on the middle one. I'm going to use slabs to make it non-spawnable. Let's grab some blocks and go up and see what height looks good. I want to keep track of how many blocks I'm going up, so I'm going to count them out because I want the center mast here to be taller than the other 2. So let's start with this one. And we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. How does 10 look? A little bit short, maybe. Let's go up to 12. Yeah, 12 should be good. And on top here, I'm going to grab some slabs. I want this to be spawn proof, so I'm going to add a slab there. I want some cross beams as well. I usually use slabs for that. Let's see. I might have to just go back down and stack back up to do that. So let's instead do the other mast first. This one was 12. I think we'll do the other one at 10. Let's take a look quickly. Oh, it's still a bit short, isn't it? We could make that mast a little bit taller if we wanted to. Let's do the other ones first, and then we'll decide. So let's go up 10 on this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's definitely shorter. We'll add a slab to make it spawn proof, and let's do the one in the back now. It's admittedly kind of plain. Could definitely use some details, but we officially have a ship moored to our pier at spawn. Let's take a look at it from the air and see how we did here. I did end up raising the center mast a bit by one block. I think I lowered the one behind it as well. Here, let's turn around and see what it looks like from the water side. And I put in some cross beams as well. I think they're called yard arms, maybe. The bit that holds the sail up horizontally. Yeah, you know, that doesn't actually look too bad. I think we did a good job here. It'll look better when there's some more details added. It's definitely very brown. We could use some color here, and I don't know if I want to put the sails up. I'm thinking no sails probably for this ship, because it doesn't really make sense for the ship that's in port here to have sails up. Maybe it's in for repairs or supplies, who knows, but definitely doesn't need sails, I think. Plus, sails are hard to do. Even when you use wool, it's kind of bulky, chunky, takes away from the rest of the ship, so I want to try to avoid that if I can. Let's see, what else do we want to add to this ship? I think that's about it. Obviously, some interior decorating in the cabin's quarter would be nice. I'll put a different color bed in here, probably a fancy red one. A little bit of gold might be nice. We could craft a gold block and add it somewhere. And sometimes these ships, they have like something decorative up front under this little lookout point, just underneath. Like, I don't know, maybe we could add something like that, like a dragon head or something. That might look pretty good. But I'm pleased with the way the ship came out. I've got a couple more details to add to the captain's quarters to make it a little bit nicer. I've added a crafting table and a cartography table. The cartography table looks really good, especially this little bit here. It's almost like it belongs here. It's got some charts and maps and things. We're going to put a red bed there, and I brought a couple of item frames. I was thinking maybe here and here would be a good spot for a crossbow and a shovel. Let's put the shovel on this side. Yeah, that looks good. And then we'll put the crossbow above the gold block here. Maybe he's using that crossbow to protect his block of gold. He's got some treasure in here. Which, speaking of treasure, some chests would be nice. I could craft some. I don't have any crafted in my inventory, but also some carpet in here might be quite nice. If we can squeeze some in, how about like a little rug right here? Okay, we can't do that spot, so maybe we move this back. There we go, like a little black carpet we can do here. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Keep the captain's feet warm and dry when he's in here relaxing. We've got a lantern above instead of a torch. All torches have been removed, and let's go ahead and craft a chest quickly. I think a chest would look good in here as well. We'll put it right here under the shovel. Yeah, look at all these details, making the captain's quarters part of the ship look a lot nicer. So we'll revisit this later, but I also added a dragon's head to the front of the ship. It's a little bit hard to see. You can see the nose sticking out there. Here, let's jump in the water, actually, and we'll take a look at it from the front because it looks pretty funny. Yeah, there we go. Got the dragon's head right there, mounted up under the front of the ship here. That's a pretty good spot for it. I couldn't put it on the stairs, so that's why it's so low to the water. I was thinking about maybe we could squeeze a redstone block behind this block and make the mouth move. That might be pretty funny to do. Let me see if there's room for that. A tripwire hook. Ooh, the sun is set and our ship is built. It's the perfect time for us to go see if we can get a trident from a couple of trident-wielding drowns. Let's put all this fishing stuff away for now. We'll come back to that later. And the perfect place to go and find drown, I've noticed, is over here near the Woodland Mansion. There's a river back here. And if we just plop down inside the river here and swap out our Totem of Undying for a shield, we should be able to find that some drown will spawn down here in the dark. There's one right now. Of course, we're looking for the ones that have tridents, so it might take a while to find one. But we're going to keep hunting drown until we get a couple of tridents. We've got a drown with a trident right here. Let's try not to die. And we'll see if we can get a trident here. Nope, just a piece of copper, I think. I didn't see a trident drop. Got another drowned with a trident. Let's see if we can get it off him. And did we get one? Yes, we did. We finally got a trident. Let's see if we can get another one. Hunting drowned is also a really good way to get nautilus shells. Occasionally they spawn with one in their hand, so I'm looking for those guys as well. This drown here, for example, has one of those nautilus shells in his hand, and I think it's a guaranteed drop. Yeah, we just got one right there, which means I only need 3 more to craft a conduit. So I've got 2 tridents to enchant here, but this one came with an enchantment. It has Unbreaking 1 on it, and I don't want it. So I'm going to grindstone this one to remove the enchantment, and then we can put enchantments on these other ones. What I'm looking for is Riptide, which means we can't have loyalty. So let's see what we can get on a trident here. From the enchanting table, we've got loyalty 3. That's exactly the enchantment that I don't want, but we do have 2 tridents, so we can try again. Okay, impaling 4 is fine. We can do impaling 4, and that's all we got. So we're going to have to make some modifications on our own. And I think we can do that right here in the anvil. I have all the books that I need. If I just put the impaling 4 trident that we just got, can I put Riptide on? Yes, okay, so we can add Riptide to that trident. And now that we have Riptide, we're going to want Unbreaking 3 and Mending. There we go. So now we have a Riptide 3 trident. And in my ender chest, I actually already have a regular Impaling and Loyalty 3 trident. So you can't put Riptide on that one. And here we've got a Channeling trident, which also has Loyalty. That's going to be good for charging creepers later. I think I'm just going to leave this trident here in my ender chest. This one I'm just going to put here with some of my other books and things. We can put the lapis away. And I guess it's time to go back to fishing. Still trying to get all the nautilus shells that I need, and it looks like we're only 2 short. Let's see if we can fish one up. No nautilus shell, but that's okay. It'll give me something to do in between episodes, because I'm all out of time for this one. Thank you for watching this episode of Forever Hardcore, and I'll see you in the next episode.